We're going to be doing a 20 to 25 minute hip open sequence together. It's going to be really great for people who sit in their desk a lot throughout the week, don't get a lot of movement and natural mobility in the lower part of their body. It'll be great also for people who are cross-training for another sport, such as running, and really have tightness through their hip flexors. So when you're ready, come to your mat. You may need a blanket to place under your knees for comfort. And if you'd like to bring a block to help kind of access some poses deeper, then you're welcome to grab that as well. I will not have one. So when you're ready, come to your mat and we will find a comfortable seat. In this beginning seated portion of class, I would love for you to set your intention for the class. If it is just to feel good in the body, to take a couple moments to yourself in a busy week, to slow down and really open up your body, whatever it is, set your intention. And once you have it, bring your eyes to a light flutter close. And you can have your hands placed up if you want to feel openness and energy from around the room, or you can have your hands placing palms down if you want to feel more grounded in your practice. We're going to start with some intuitive fluid movement in our seat, so you can start to move your body whichever direction and way feels good. You can do some circles towards the right, leaning more deeply into the movement as you go. And we'll circle on the other direction. Like some seated cat-cow. Again, keeping your eyes closed. You can open if you prefer, but really want you to find some moments today to really be in your body without distraction, and maybe having your eyes closed helps that. When you find the seated cat, you're pulling your hands back towards your body with your knees, really pushing your chest out as your shoulder blades come to kiss in the back. And when you do your seated cat stretch, you're going to really use your knees as a tether as you pull your body back, kind of let gravity pulling you back, but a nice curve around your shoulders and through your spine. Couple more. Seated cow pose. Cat. We'll take one more just because these are my favorite. And seated cat pose. Okay, you can slowly flutter your eyes open, sit up with a tall spine, and we're going to do a few opening namaskar movements together. So from your seat, just place your palms on your mat, step back through maybe a tabletop, or you can just hop back into your downward facing dog. Hang out here for a moment. Your feet about hip width distance apart. Your palms suction to touch on your mat. Your head will rest so that your ears are about in line with your bicep, and you have a long spine from the crown of your head through to your tailbone, finding an upward lift at the base of your tailbone. You can pedal out your legs, bring one heel to lift and then the other. Once that feels good, we're going to inhale, raise your right leg high, If you'd like, you can do a first hip opener. Open up to the side and let your hip kind of just open and your heel fall back towards your bum. And then find a three-legged dog on the right side. Bring your knee through to chest, step down into a low lunge. So you inhale, going to inhale into a high crescent lunge. Exhale, bring your back left heel to the ground into a warrior one stance. As you bring your hands to clasp behind your back, stretching your chest open. Look up if that feels good. And then exhale to humble warrior. Going to rise as you inhale into warrior one. You can pivot to a high lunge on the back leg. Exhale, hands down to meet the mat. Step your right foot back to meet the left into high plank. And now we're going to inhale, lift your left leg. Open your hip if that feels good. Find a single three-legged dog with your left leg high. So you exhale, you're going to step knee to nose, foot through your two hands on the mat. So you exhale and then inhale, high lunge. Exhale, you can bring your arms to clasp behind your back. Step your right heel towards the ground. So you look up and pull your clasped fingertips towards the ground. Inhale. Exhale, find humble warrior. You can take your clasp hands as high over your head as feels good. Inhale, repivot into a high lunge. Exhale, hands to frame your foot, step back to a plank. Exhale, we're going to go into a low lunge, or a low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, we'll do that 2 more times, a bit quicker now. Inhale, right leg high, three-leg dog. Open your dog if that feels good. And then on your exhale, step your right foot through. Inhale, rise to a high lunge. Exhale, pivot your back foot as you bring your hands to meet behind your back. Inhale. Exhale, come and find humble warrior. Inhale, rise to high lunge. And exhale, bring your hands to the mat, step back, high plank. Through your chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, left leg rises. Open your hip. Do hip circles if that feels good. Find your three-legged dog. Exhale, step through. Left foot between both hands planted on the mat. Inhale, rise into your high lunge. Exhale, pivot your back heel down as you bring your hands to clasp behind your back. Inhale, broaden your chest, pull your clasped hands towards the mat. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, pivot the back foot, come into high lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back into high plank. Come down to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time through on each side. Inhale, right leg high. Hip circles. So I'm going to do this time. Right leg high. Exhale. Come place your foot between your hands. You inhale, rise into a high crescent lunge. Exhale, pivot the back foot, hands to clasp behind your back. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, rise back to your high lunge. Exhale, hands frame your feet. Step back to high plank, over into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last side, left side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, open your hip if you would like. Do some hip circles. Then exhale, bring your left foot to the mat between your hands. Inhale, high crescent lunge. So you pivot your back foot down. Bring your hands to clasp behind your back. Inhale, open through your chest as you pull your clasped fingertips towards the ground. And exhale, humble warrior. Inhale, pivot the back foot on your toes to your high lunge. And exhale, final way to downward facing dog. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet towards your hands. And at the top of your mat, find ragdoll for just a brief moment. Unlock your knees, having a slight bend so your tummy gets close to your thighs. Sway a bit if that feels good. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to touch on the mat. Have your feet about mat's width apart, slightly angled with your toes outward. This, if you did grab a block, is where you might like one. But come into a low malasana squat. You can have your hands palms together at your chest, resting your triceps or your elbows on the inner part of your knee, and you're going to just gently push the elbow or tricep against the inner knee, opening your hips a little bit. I am a swayer, so sway side to side. If that feels good, take a couple deep breaths here. Again, your block, give me some support under your bum if Malasana doesn't feel good in your knees. Right, okay? From the Malasana, you can push your block aside and just come sit back so your booty touches the mat. Bring your legs out in front of you. We're going to do a little bit of core to help activate our bodies, starting with a low boat variation. So bring your legs, your feet out in front of you. You can have your heels placed on the mat. Come back into this V-shaped position. You can have your arms out in front of you, or you can have them up overhead. Raise one leg, then the other. Your shins can be parallel with the ground. And we're just going to hold this for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Take a little break. We'll do that 2 more times as we get progressively a little bit deeper into our core. So once again, you have your feet, heels planted on the ground, or bring them up. If your feet were up last time, try extending out into a V with your arms straight or overhead, holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And we'll do one more. Inhale, find your boat, settle in. This time for the challenge, you have your feet in a V. We're going to do some scissor kicks. We'll do 10 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this is hard, make sure to keep your core tight and pull your energy in through the center. I think that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Great, and release. Definitely miscounted, but maybe you got a few extra reps in. Then you're slowly going to release down onto your back. Bring your feet to touch as you splay your knees out to the side. And we're just going to take a little moment for rest before we get started into the body of our sequence. And let our legs hang open a bit. Catch your breath from the brief opportunity to engage our core. And when you've had enough breaths, you can bring your hands to both outer sides of your legs, fold up like a book, and slowly come back up to your feet. Maybe you rock back and forth. We're going to come into a low malasana, so you can rock back and forth. Come up, find balance. Once again, coming into that low malasana. Then from here, inhale, halfway lift, bring your hips about, hips width apart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, bring your hands to touch. From your stand, exhale as you fold. Place your hands on the mat and step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee to nose. Step through your right foot between your hands. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Make sure that your right knee is pointing slightly outward over your right pinky. You have a parallel stance with your back foot, so your back foot's parallel with the edge of your mat, and your right heel centers in the middle, the line centers middle of your left foot. Your arms should be parallel with the ground, with your fingertips pulling your shoulder blades out as you keep these nice strong long lines. And your right knee, if it feels comfortable to find that 90-degree bend, go for it. Look out over your right hand. Exhale, inhale, reverse your warrior two. You can bring your left hand down your leg or clasp your right hip. Find the bind. Going to exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Last inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, spin your back foot up, arms come down, step back into high plank. Find your traditional connecting vinyasa. So exhale through chaturanga, inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And we'll find that again on the left side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step through. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. This time your left knee will ankle slightly out over your left pinky. Arms parallel with the ground. 90-degree angle in your front leg. Exhale, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse one last time. Exhale, warrior two. Through to a low lunge, pivot the back foot, step back into your plank. Exhale as you go through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you need to sneak an extra breath in your chaturanga, go for it. But if you can do one exhale movement from plank through chaturanga and inhale up into your upward facing dog or maybe low cobra, that is fine too. From here, let's inhale, right leg high, step through. And then we're going to inhale, open up into warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle, so lean forward through right fingertips over the top of your mat, and you're going to reposition your arms like a clock. So come into a 0 and 6 or 12 and 6. So your right fingertips are just barely lightly touching the ground, and your left arm is straight above, or maybe it comes over your head to find a nice line from your fingertips down through your foot. On your inhale, we're going to sweep our left leg into a high forward or wide leg fold, and continue your inhale up into high malasana or goddess pose. Take a deep breath here. Really try to keep your knees pushing a bit outward, toes slightly angled, and a tuck of your tailbone. That will really help open up the hips here. And then from here, we're going to do one more inhale, exhale into forward fold. Going to continue our sweep through, this time turning our right or our left toes out, having our back toes parallel with the edge of our mat, and then we're going to find side angle on the left side. So this time left fingertips down and our right arm extended overhead, strong line from our fingertips to our toes. From here, inhale as you find your warrior two. Exhale, reverse your warrior. That should have been an inhale. Now exhale, bring your hands to frame your foot on your mat, step back, high plank, lower into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right foot high this time. Exhale, step through your right foot between your hands and come down into a low lunge. This is where a blanket might feel good under your left knee, but we're just going to do one pulse from low lunge back into a half split. So you're gonna exhale, low lunge, inhale, split. From here, come into your low lunge, inhale, and then exhale through to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale back towards your left knee into a skandasana. From here, you can have your heel up or it can be down on the mat. And you're going to have your right toes pointed up towards you to protect your knee. Take a few breaths here. Then we're going to inhale, forward fold, halfway lift. Exhale, continue to sweep forward. So find the low lunge with your left leg, forward, right leg back, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg. Inhale, raise your left leg high. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Find the low lunge. Move a blanket under your knee. that's comfortable. And we're going to do one, exhale, low lunge, inhale, skandasana, or inhale to your half split. Skandasana is coming. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, pivot your feet so toes are facing forward. Find your halfway lift. Exhale towards your right knee this time into skandasana pose. Hands to chest or supporting you on your mat. Inhale, push up into your forward fold with a halfway lift. Exhale, pivot your left foot towards your right. All toes forward, find the low lunge. And then from here, step your right foot back. Exhale, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Okay, now come down to a tabletop. You can continue to face the back of your mat if you would like. From the tabletop, we're just going to do a couple more hip openers. So you can just pull your left leg forward, find a low lunge. Inhale and bring your upper body upright. So your knees are at 90-degree angle. And you're just going to do a couple pulses here. So we really get into our left hip flexor. Do a total of 4, or you can stay in the pulse as long as you would like. And then from here, place your hands to frame your foot. You can bring your shin onto the mat across your body, and we're going to come down into a pigeon pose. So this means that you have your back leg, for me that's my left, straight. Look back to make sure that your leg and toes are pointing back in a long line, and then you can either be upright like this and really feel the stretch through the back side of your body. That's where I feel it. Or you can lower down and go into a sleeping pigeon. Stay here for a few breaths. My right leg is shaking where the stretch is the strongest. Okay, and then what I like to do is just come down to the hip that is forward, and then keeping a 90-degree bend. I can kind of come into this windshield wiper seat. Just gonna do a couple 90-degree windshield wipers for my hips. So you're pivoting on your heel and bringing one knee to touch the ground in front of you at a time. From here, when you have it enough, you're going to come into pigeon on the left side. So you can kind of come up onto your front leg, situate your back leg under. I tried to, doesn't really matter if your shin is positioned diagonal on the mat or if you try to keep it parallel with the top. Do what feels best in your knee joints and your hip joints. I do feel a deeper stretch the more parallel my shin is. It's not perfect, but I do make sure to flex my foot if I'm keeping it parallel to help protect my knee. And I'll just take a few more breaths here. And then once you've had enough in pigeon, roll back onto your front thigh one more time. Some hip openers, windshield wipers. I'm gonna shake off feeling. And one last time, whether it's through tabletop or however you like, come into a low lunge on your left side. Right knee can have a blanket under it again. And we'll just find 4 deep pulses here. So we close out the movement portion of our practice together. Hopefully that felt good. Whether it's through tabletop and then coming back into a seat, we're going to lower our bodies onto our mats, legs out in front of you. Slow, one final core engagement roll to the ground. Within the comfort of your mat, maybe a little beyond it, stretch out your arms by your side, your legs, and gently close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths here as you release some of the energy, pent up energy in our hips from the practice. And when you found some regulation, dip slowly and deeply into Shavasana. Keep your eyes closed as you just start to welcome movement back into your body. Be through your fingertips, through your toes, rocking your head from side to side. Just slow, easy movements. And then on a deep inhale, you can raise your arms overhead for a full body stretch. And then on your exhale, turn to a side of your liking into fetal pose. This is how we start to awaken our body from Shavasana. And you can push your way up into a seat on your mat. Legs crisscrossed, spine long, body full of your intentions and your energy. Keep your eyes closed. So we inhale, bring your arms up over your head. Exhale with gratitude and thank you for your practice. Yay! That was my first class. So thank you. If you've made it this far, thank you for practicing with me.